Hi, welcome to Christine's Corner. My guest today is Peter Peluso to my right. Hi, Pete.
Hi.
Thanks for coming. And
Yep.
as you can see, he's he's an accordion player. He's been on my show a few times, and he's excellent player. How long you been playing now?
Since I was 7.
Oh,
so
that'll do it. You don't have to tell us.
Okay, it's, a few years.
Few years, yeah.
Few years.
And you also were in an accordion group. I don't know if they're playing now during COVID.
We started up. We're going to be doing a concert in June. This is the Connecticut Accordion Association Accordion Orchestra. So we've been starting up. We've been rehearsing.
Oh, good.
And hopefully our fingers are crossed.
Yeah.
That so we're at the Mattatuck Library or Museum rather in Waterbury.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, maybe I can videotape you again.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That was great.
That'd be great.
When I went there once.
That was fun.
Yeah. I see that you have an accordion, and it looks like pretty old.
Yes. And yeah, it's let me see here. Yeah, it's an example of what I'm going to do. The songs I'm going to be playing today have to do with vaudeville in this country way back late 1800s, early part of the 20th century. And this is, and there were accordion players. And a lot of the accordions looked like this. They were very decorative and ornate. Of course, that was all part of the showmanship. I mean, most of the accordions that we play nowadays are like this.
Yeah.
Typical, but
right.
These accordions. I'd play a little something on it, but the billows are so shot.
Oh. You might go smoking.
And I'm going to pump, yeah, I'm going to have to be pumped pretty hard. So.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I like the decorative on it.
Yeah, and they have their name on it and the whole nine. Oh yeah, that was all. Well, that was all part of the act. Everybody got to know who the guy was or the gal was that was playing this. So.
I wonder if there were many women that played that.
There were.
Believe
it or not, there were even like female accordion ensembles that were part of the vaudeville circuit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They must have been pretty good because there was only one slot for that type of an act in each vaudeville show. So to get that one slot was pretty tough.
Wow.
So
good for
yeah.
her.
Oh yeah, it wasn't just the guys that did this. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to be playing some vaudeville. Just give us, the title of the name and.
Yeah, that's it. And a little bit back, of course, when vaudeville, if you weren't familiar with it, it was like the G-rated entertainment, and because most theater in those days was pretty bawdy.
Yeah.
And so in order to you wanted to bring your family to the theater. Of course, this is before movies, and usually we know it as comedy skits and singers and dancers, but there were accordionists that played, and some became quite famous on the circuits. Wow. And I'm going to play a couple of numbers of those guys, as well as some of the music that you might have heard played by various accordionists on a vaudeville show.
Okay.
Okay. This one. Okay. This is
interesting.
So I'm going to give you a little sampling. This one was actually written by an accordionist. His name was Pietro Frosini, and this actually went on to become. I'm sure he played this on his show and as part of his act, but it also became like a theme song for accordion. If you're studying accordion seriously, you got to learn this piece. So it's called the Jolly Caballero.
Oh.
Okay.
Excellent.
Fun piece, absolutely fun piece. I'm
Yeah.
sure he played this. You know, some of the things I'm playing, I'm not sure whether, because there's no program, so there's nothing written. But I'm just guessing this, since he wrote it, I'm sure it was part of his act.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah. There were a couple of, that did actually. One, of course, Pietro Frusini was, is well known amongst accordionists. Another one that actually got a start in vaudeville was Lawrence Welk.
Oh,
Really?
Welk?
Really? Yeah,
Wow,
he was
I
all
didn't
part. I
know
guess it's
that.
part of his family was in the vaudeville troupe, and he played accordion, and did other things, and then of course went on to have a show for 30 years on
30
television.
years. Yeah,
So
30 years. Wow.
yeah,
It was that long.
yeah. The other famous, probably well known, was Guido Darro. He was from Italy, came to this country, and he actually was so good and so popular. He actually ended up playing the Palace in New York City, which was like, for vaudeville, that was the epitome. If you could play the Palace in New York City, that was big. He was, but one of the things he says is that he also, that's where he met one of his wives, Mae West, from the movie star. Well, she came on to become a movie star, but she was in vaudeville too.
Wow.
So he wrote a lot of stuff that, of course, which he played. This is entitled. This is a piece that he wrote. It's a foxtrot, which was popular dance in the days, and it's entitled Lola.
Lola? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fun piece, you know, and because he did that. One of the things that accordionists were noted for were also, they accompanied a lot of acts because it's portable, because when you went from town to town to town, you didn't know what you were going to find as far as accompanist is concerned. You know, like obviously the big cities probably had fine musicians, but when you get to these small towns, you didn't know it was so. So a lot of singers would hire accordionists to accompany them, and or groups, you know, would have an accordionist as an accompaniment rather than relying on whatever they were going to get when they landed in the town.
Yeah.
Vaudeville was also catered to ethnic, you know, Italians, Polish, Jewish, Asian, believe it or not, you know, Asian, especially on the West Coast, you know, there was a whole circuit dedicated towards Asia, you know, Asian acts.
That's good because those times they weren't too
exactly
close.
there, but you know it's it was kind of nice because, well, you know, like people who own vaudeville theaters, they wanted people in the seats, and what you do is you give them something that they're gonna. And of course, we had large immigrant populations at that time, coming from Europe and Asia. So here's one of the things. Here, I'm going to do a couple of numbers that kind of are representative of that. And the first one is actually Spanish. It's a tango. It's called Roman Guitar. And again, and like I said, a lot of these, I don't know if these songs were actually played, but it's something like this was definitely. Okay, Roman Guitar.
A tango on accordion.
Yeah. Thank you.
I definitely could hear the tango.
Oh yeah,
the
it's
dancing.
very, and of course, and Spanish music seemed to also at this particular point in time, and even into the late 1930s and 40s, was popular amongst even non-Spanish people. It just, I guess, the whole emotional, it's so emotional.
Yeah.
it caught on. This one was probably catered to the Jewish audience. It's called Horror Staccato.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a fun piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a, you know, very klezmer.
I can see the Jewish people with the chairs
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
glass and the
there you go.
crashing.
Little fiddler on the roof there.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that I think accordionists were really noted for was novelty numbers. I don't know if you know what
Novelty?
a novelty.
No.
Yeah. A novelty number is, it's kind of a light classic. Okay, it's not a like symphonic or anything, but it's. It usually describes a person, place, or thing. It's very, very light, and it's very, you know, easy listening.
Oh, okay.
You know, so here's a couple of things. And us accordionists, especially back in the 50s and 60s, we all had to learn this.
Wow.
I did Lola. Now this is called Nola.
Nola? Oh, okay.
I don't know. You know, it's a.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
Yeah.
they had to call
Somebody
it something.
like Nola, someone like Lola.
Yeah, but it's by a different composer, Felix Arndt.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
so this is Nola. That's the end.
Yeah, okay. You almost like a couple of times. Oh, wait.
I know. It always sounded like it was
Yeah,
finished, and then
right.
Okay.
It also sounds like what I would hear on a carousel run.
Yeah, it was. That was a very famous piece, by the way, back in those days. It even.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember seeing the first time was on the old Sullivan show. There was some guys did a dance to it.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it's really well known.
Yeah, it's all good dancing
Yeah.
music. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got 5 minutes. So
Got 5 minutes. Okay, let's see. All right, let's do this because early jazz was just coming into this, and jazz was also featured on Vaudeville.
Wow.
This is entitled "The Original Boogie Woogie."
Oh.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got me going. Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun pieces, and I'm sure something like that was featured.
Yeah.
Somebody played it,
Right.
or somebody played something like it.
Something like it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, we got 1 minute, so if you want to just play it out to the end.
Sure. In fact,
Great listening.
I'll do this one. I wasn't originally going to do this, but the opera was actually done by accordionists.
Oh, an opera. Wow.
Yeah, they didn't sing, but they played incidental music, overtures and stuff like that. And this is one, we'll take it out with this. This is the Gypsy Dance from Carmen.
Okay. Thank you. See you next week on
Okay.
Christine's Corner.
Sometimes life just happens. Don't worry. Farmington Motorsports will get you back on the road and at a fair price. From towing to tires, emissions to transmissions.
Our ASC certified techs do it all.
Farmington Motorsports is a family-run business. We're a Napa Auto Center and AAA approved. We work on all makes and models from preventative maintenance to major repairs.
And every repair is backed by our 2-year, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty.
When life happens to you, don't worry. Farmington Motorsports.